Good morning, Don.
Good morning, buddy. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I'd say
Awesome,
I'm at
man. Awesome.
70%
Happy.
today.
Okay. That's good.
What
That's
what
nice.
per, what percentage are you today? This morning?
Um, yeah, I like that number. 65, 70, 75. I mean, I stayed up way too late last night indulging in V Friends late night stream. Gary V is just a freaking tornado of a human. They were up till like 1 o'clock Eastern time, so that was 10 o'clock my time, which is definitely not my bedtime. But I have a really light day today, so I will be fine. How about you?
I went to bed on time. My 5-year-old is a freaking tornado when she jumps into bed with us. So I really didn't sleep well except for like between 3 and 5, and then had a pretty sloppy gym session this morning.
Mm.
Had to poop halfway through. And
Nothing like a ill-timed poop in the morning.
nothing like a sweaty sit on the toilet at the gym to keep you in the mood for it. But yeah, yesterday felt kind of like a push. Nothing that was like totally super awesome. The school day went okay. I kind of had to realign the 7th grade class that was getting kind of wiggly. And yeah, I was just kind of running half empty yesterday. So
Mm.
I feel like I'm
It's a
just kind of
bummer.
pushing through the next wave right now.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So would you normally what do you think's the issue right now, or what would you normally try to do to get yourself out of it? More sleep, less sleep, more time in the woods, like our brother Ryan. What's
Um,
your go-to? More
sleep usually
coffee?
helps. Sleep usually helps this day, like these days. It's just kind of like one of those cycle things where
Yeah.
it's like you'll have like a good string of like maybe 4 or 5 days, and then you kind of come down for it. And I can never like nail like I can never like define what exactly like gets me out of that, like the higher point of it. It just kind of comes in waves. It's like surfing, you know. Right now, I'm just kind of sitting on a board waiting for the next wave to come. I'm not really in a rush to do it. I know
Yeah.
it passes.
Yeah. Good morning, Alana. Elena? I don't
Alina.
know. Alina? We call her Plush Garden in the circles. She is a huge plush collector that entered the V Friends community
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
Ryan
But good
sent me the
morning.
link to the Whatnot event last night.
Oh yeah. Did you
Uh,
did you check in at all or no?
no, because I didn't have Whatnot on my phone, and I'm trying to keep. I don't want to put anything new on my phone.
Yeah, if you don't want to put anything new on your phone, then stay away from a man named Gary V.
Yeah.
I
Um,
have a whole folder in my phone that I just titled Gary V because I feel like every couple of months he makes me download or asks me or whatever download a new app. He's constantly switching over to new things and building on those platforms, and I swear I've downloaded like 13 to 15 apps. Twitter being one of them, and even Twitch. Like I was never on Twitch before then. Never on Twitter, Discord, Whatnot Fanatics, like all these things are just in this folder because of that man essentially.
yeah. Well, maybe this weekend I'll jump
Yeah,
in.
but it was a good time last night. It was definitely it was called a movie more than once or twice. It was called the best night ever. Like a lot of people had a lot of fun. Got some really cool stuff, and yeah, it was just a vibe. It was a good little session there.
What? So,
Ryan.
I guess out of all the things, like I guess the thing that I'm mostly slightly interested in is like learning more about whatnot. And I kind of know what it is about like selling stuff. And then like the headline is like join millions of other sellers and buyers. And like at first it sounds great. And then on second thought, I was like, that sounds like I'm just going to get washed up in the wave of people, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what it's like for, anything other than like our community. Like I've popped into some other ones, and then there's someone that's in the community that sells his fine art photography, like prints.
Mhm.
I know he's having a good time doing it. But it's a cool little app if it's something you're interested in, either buying and collecting or selling and producing. Like I know a lot of people in there are like maybe producing their own jewelry, or they have like there's a lot of people that like they work in comic book shops, so it's like a way to sell their inventory, because brick and mortar storefronts, aren't getting as much walk-ins or people anymore. So it's like a way to just, you know, continue like the Amazon vibes of like couch shopping for people.
Yeah. I'm decent at producing, terrible at selling.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah, it's there's different formats. There's buy it nows, there's auctions, you get some stuff in a giveaway. It's just kind of like this. You just sit there with a chat, and you talk and you chat and you vibe with people, and you throw up an auction here and there, and that's kind of what I see.
mhm.
You know, and then you got to ship it all. And I think the shipping end of it is, I don't know, because I'm not a seller. Like that's not something that interests me. But I think they make it relatively easy, where the app cashes you out and then prints a shipping label, and you just take it off and you know put it in the mail.
I
Yeah,
love the theory of it. I think it's great.
yeah.
Um, Ryan has been really good about sharing various ways to like market things online with me.
Okay.
Um, my challenge is just kind of following through with it. So thank you, Ryan, if you're watching from the woods.
I think he's out of the woods, but if he's watching from wherever, Ryan just a big card got pulled last night that Ryan's really on the hunt for. So Ryan's out there trying to work for some more money and mortgage his life to go get it.
Yeah.
Maybe not true.
Yeah. Props to Ryan for getting a little bit of his work. Ryan has some cards he's been producing based on his drawings that he's giving his daughters in the morning, which I'm very proud of him for. I think that's a positive thing he added
Yeah.
to the world for sure.
All right. So gratitude. What's our gratitude for today? How are you feeling? That's at 70%. Gratitude.
Yeah, I think that kind of rolls into it. I had a kind of had a hard time thinking of something today, or even maybe last night. You go first.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went into a little tough spot too. I don't know what it was. I woke myself up in a different way today, and basically, like I said, not a lot of sleep last night. Usually go home on Thursdays, and I'm home Friday mornings. The in-laws are out of town, so I'm taking advantage of their space. I worked late last night to get some stuff done and catch up on work. And then I asked my wife if it'd be okay if I stayed out here instead of driving in like what's become like the worst traffic ever, like Thursday evenings
Mhm.
here in LA. Um, and so this morning, I think I was just mostly thankful for, that I was able to kind of like lock in and get this stuff done that I needed to get done. Sent off these two very important emails, and then I want to say like pretty quickly I got a email response from my client, and I didn't read it because I had checked out for the day, so I like to separate myself as much as possible. But the tagline was, along the lines of like, I'm really glad I hired you, or something like that. And it, that like gave me a good note to live on last night before bed. So, and I thought about that a lot this morning too. Like, I really appreciate being appreciated, like in times like that. It's, because I've been very stressed out a bit about these things that I needed to do.
Mhm.
So getting them done, getting them off the plate, and then having the client kind of see the work that I put into it and express that, was cool to wake up to, or to go to sleep to, and then wake up to as well.
Cool. Okay, you kind of assuaged a few things maybe. I have a few students who are going through some things, like some personal friend issues, and they're comfortable enough with me to share that with me and sometimes ask for advice. So I'll say that's my gratitude today.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I would think I was, uh, alluding to that the other day, of like how much that plays into your world of like being, because I think we had one of the readings was along the lines of like, find someone else that your kids can talk to,
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of times kids don't like talk to, or go there with their parents. Parents are at home, and some parents, I'm one of them, you know tell their kids what to do, like clean the house, do your chores, do your homework, and the relationship can kind of get to a point where it's more directive or authoritative, and so kids seek, advice elsewhere. And I was just curious. I was curious. I think I'd asked maybe, but maybe not in the right way. If you've had those neat interactions, and what they were like with your students.
Yeah. I guess that's a good segue into today's page. You've got a friend in me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, being I am thankful that I can be that person for some students that they can kind of talk to about like currently it's like mostly like friend issues and trying to navigate their own feelings. Like I have a student who is, has a really hard time regulating their mood when things don't go the right way. And a few times in the past few days, I mean, I've had them for like the entire year, and like there's good days and bad days, and that's kind of when you learn how to handle different students differently based on the situation. Um, whether like they need to break out of the room or they gotta like, I don't know, take it out on an object or something. It's like there's so many ways to do it, and it's almost kind of like an exercise for me where I'm like, okay, let's practice just doing something that makes us tired. So go out into the hallway and like speed
Hmm.
walk up the hall a few times or something like that. Something, just kind of spitballing at the wall to see, what works
Yeah.
as far as like mood regulation goes. This particular story has to do with Ben Horowitz. Is that the Ben Horowitz of the Horowitz Report?
I'm not exactly sure. Is
I,
he's
I don't.
he's listed as an entrepreneur, so it would probably be one of the more famous Ben
I'm
Horowitz.
assuming that's what it is. And the middle paragraph I didn't totally understand if there were two people in the conversation or three people in the conversation, but part of it was about Bill's
Three
son
people in the
that is
conversation.
transgender, I guess, and Jules, and Jules is able to kind of talk through that entire part. Oh, look, Ryan's on today. Ryan's back.
Hey
Good
guys,
morning.
wanted to say hey.
Good morning,
Morning,
buddy. How are
stranger.
you?
Good.
Did you
What
want
you
to
guys?
school us on your good friend Benjamin Abraham Horowitz? the co-founder of Opsware and Hewlett Packard, which
Oh,
No.
which Hewlett Packard acquired in 2007.
Oh yeah, Hewlett Packard brings me back to. I feel like high school, beginning of college. Is Hewlett Packard still a thing? Do people still use Hewlett Packard computers?
yeah, HP.
Yeah, we just call it HP now. I just bought one for my office the other day.
Oh, got it. Good thing I didn't say anything bad about them because I didn't have anything bad to say.
Yep, I like it. I dig it. What's
Yeah.
going on, buddy? How happy Friday? How's your week been?
Happy Friday. Things were just aligning for my morning, and then I was like, "Hey, look at the clock. Look at my time. Look at my moment." I was like, "Let's go hop on with the guys." But look, I wasn't trying to sideline it. What you guys are trying to talk about the computers. That's what was going on.
No, we were talking. We were getting into the reading. It's about Ben Horowitz, and so Jason was talking about it, and then I was trying to in the background research who he was. I did not do a good job.
I was doing a terrible job of summarizing the page. Basically, the theme is being somebody for kids that they can come to you in times of crisis, and being open about things, and how you can be an ally to them in whatever way,
Sure.
in whatever form that might take.
Do you feel like you're that as a teacher? Is that an identity you feel like you've taken as like a teacher?
Yeah, that's happened. There's multitude of reasons why students need to get things off their plate there. So yeah, once in a while I can be that person, whether it's friend things or life things. Once in a while they get a little bit deeper where I am not. It is kind of out of my jurisdiction, so it's like I might have to like bring in guidance or administration.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if there was like a level at which you had to tap out, or if you like had to go through training, or you have to go through training in order to like go to that level. But it makes sense, right?
Like I'm not on like a guidance counselor or like therapist level.
Yeah.
Like I can I can spin a yarn on like things with like friends, or like things that students struggle with in their lives. But as far as if there's like something going on at home that may put a kid in danger, that's something that I would have to report. There's I'm not, there's one narrative that's spun about teachers is like, they teach kids how to be gay, all those things, or have a litter box in their classroom and all that crap. And no, it's not like, that's not what happens in a classroom. There's tons of different ways of supporting students. And I'm not one that like keeps secrets for kids. I would maybe I'll say that like I'm not on that level where it's like they're gonna share like deep dark secrets with me. I wouldn't be comfortable being the standard bearer with that. That should be more of like a family thing, I think. But yeah, like, so it's like mostly like the social things. That's where the social interactions is where I can be of most use to students.
Gotcha.
Navigating the adolescent social world is, I guess, that's my bread and butter. Ryan, how was the fourth?
How's the what?
How was your walkabout?
It was good. What was it, last weekend? Last weekend I had so I'm like, I can only think 4 days ahead most of the time, which is like part of something I'm trying to correct right now. But I told Lauren, I was like, look, I'm gonna go find the woods. And so I hopped in the car one morning and it was good. I kind of knew about where I was going to go. Drove up there. I ended up kind of by like West Point over here in New York. But I think like talking about identity, what you were making me think about was how I know for my girls, I definitely want to make sure that they can come to me in those times where maybe they're feeling like they got to go, like, quote unquote, find the woods, or not be afraid to kind of say something there, and know that like whether I'm a parent or whatever I am, I can be a friend. And sometimes I feel as if that's not exactly where I'm going. I think I recently took like a deep breath and my daughter was telling me something. She goes, "Oh, never mind. And I was like, oh crap. So, I was like, wait, okay. So my deep breath that I just took when you were saying something, because I'm sure it was like a drawn out type of thought that they were sharing. I was nervous that I had now set the stage for dad being someone that they have to somehow filter what they're going to say. And I was like, I don't like that. Right. So it's like, even with the reading today, I would hope that if they're in a situation, whether it's transgender or depression or whatever it's going to be, I would hope that they don't feel as if they need to filter any of that. They can kind of say it and know that it's like, hey, maybe I'm a parent, maybe I'm a friend, but just know I'm going to be here. So.
David asks, an interesting conversation kids ask is, can you as a parent hold confidence with what their friends tell them? I know there's an adult line there. Good. Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm assuming what David is talking about is when your kid comes to you with something that another friend tells them. Correct me if I'm wrong, David. Not really had that happen yet. How about you guys? Like, have you had your kids confide something in you about another friend that you feel like might be out of your jurisdiction?
No, not really. And I think I'm not as tapped in with my kids and their friends. Like, as I feel like as much as I'm open to them, I think they're in a space right now where they take all their interactions at school, and they're not taking as much home or as after school. They just kind of like, I don't know. I think they seem to be very busy and very a lot at school. Like the only friends that come over are the friend group that we hang out with. So, and for the older girls, it's not their friends, even though we say, hey, feel free to invite your friends over. But I think our teenager, she's just so exhausted right now with the multiple sports and everything that she has going on, that I don't think she's thinking much of outside time. And no, she hasn't confided anything in me.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm playing around in the background. I accidentally clicked something and now I'm trying to fix it, but I don't know what's going on. So sorry.
I feel like I would have a hard time not meddling in some situations. Like, I like, David, how you just grounded the question as if it's like a backseat conversation, instead of maybe your kid coming straight to you, which I think like you could probably erode your kid's trust and confidence as you as like a friend and a parent, whatever. If as a parent, you hear them talking in the back seat and then you bring it up or you do something about it. It worries me that I think I would be that person. How do you think you guys are? Are you guys good at biting your tongue? Saving face, if you will.
I think I'm good at listening.
You are good at listening.
And I feel like I'm good at, I don't think I bite my tongue. I think I'm good at being careful at what I say, so I don't have to backtrack. I think. It's a good question.
Nice. I think I'm really good at the opposite of those things.
I think I'm definitely more
sometimes I
like
feel
Dom in that situation.
I was gonna say, sometimes I feel like you guys were brought into my life for a reason.
Um, so here's what helps, Dom. This is what helps me. What I do try to do very consciously is not say anything until somebody's done talking. Like instead of like jumping in at every point, like I'll just be a sounding board. Like sometimes Kristen has to vent to me about something, like she's had few issues with work that I've been able to kind of be like her sounding board for. I won't really say anything until like she's done talking, just so you kind of get the authentic issue of whatever it is. That helps because it's like, keep the spot, like we were talking about yesterday, is like keeping people talking when like you're either like feeling awkward or like socially closed off, is like keep asking questions, keep the spotlight on them. I think when a spotlight's on a person, without taking it, I think they're a lot more open, either consciously or unconsciously, about just kind of letting everything out, whether it's well worded or not. And then you can jump in and offer your opinion or help.
Elena, Elena Maria, or Elena, whatever you go by. Do you guys know Elena?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's weird is I was gonna ask you, but like her comments aren't popping up for me. I have to like scroll all the way up in StreamYard to find her. For some reason, like she's here, and we've said good morning to her, but she's up there.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
I'm glad you
Yeah,
found that comment.
Yeah, well, it looks like maybe X posts are somehow thrown to the top of the chat here in StreamYard, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Elena, I don't know how old Elena's kids are, but I would be down for someone to be able to teach us. Not so much like I wouldn't want to hear an expert tell me. I want to hear from someone else who's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure my kids share most things with me. And I'm sure a lot of parents think that other kids share more with them than they probably do. But I would love to hear, these best practices from, these organic conversations. So like Elena, I'd love to know that. Something tells me David probably has, great advice on this too, but I would love to have that guidance of, what they did. And Jason, maybe it's, what you have going on, how you're kind of going about it, maybe organically, but 10. Oh.
She's got
yeah, Elena, all your stuff is just going right to to the top. This is weird.
So strange. It's never been like
First
that
place.
before.
Elena's first place. Congratulations, Elena.
Elena, give us I don't know, give us maybe at most like a 10-word thought on why you think your kids currently do share things with you and how you feel as if you can keep them sharing those things with you. I don't know. Can I ask you guys a question? I tell my oldest daughter, at least, because my youngest daughter, I don't know. My youngest daughter is like surprisingly incredibly truthful. Like she could step on a cat with the intention to kill it. And then, I'd be like, who killed the cat? She's like, I did. I'll be like, why did you do that? She's like, I don't know, but I did it. Like she'd
Sounds
be
like
so
sounds
honest.
like a psychopath.
A little bit. No, but I don't know if she do that. No, but she also loves cats. But I think where I was going with this is that my oldest,
yes,
I like the example, but my oldest, my like words to her are always, I trust you. If that's what you're going to tell me, I trust you. Like I want her to know that I've made a decision that I could either not trust her, I could over question it, and I could be like, hold on, I'm going to keep digging. Like if that's what you feel you have to tell me, then I trust that that's what you did, or that if you have to tell me the words you're telling me right now, and even if it's not the truth, I want to trust you that you know what you're doing and that you'll let me know if you need something. And then I think that's kind of goes into the discussion today. So, so it's good. I have to think deeper into this, but I'd love to learn from those parents that have been there.
The only situation that I can remember where like parents are absolutely blindsided by things are in movies.
For the dramatic effect.
Yeah, like adolescent dramas. It's like the parents always seem extremely disconnected, where it's like they find something out and they're always like, "I had no idea." It's like I don't really hear that in real life.
I could see how parents get there though.
Oh yeah, I mean, yes, easy. I think there's a very fine line there. But yeah, I've never heard, or maybe just because I don't have teenagers yet, uh, I've never personally heard of a situation where where a parent is like totally blindsided about something that a kid is going through.
Hmm.
End of
I
thought.
think it's harder. It's a little harder to be all that right now, right? Because we're in such a connected world, information world. Uh, I feel like it would also be very hard to hide. Like I'm thinking like the things that I got away with as a kid, or the things that maybe I surprised my parents with. I don't know that I would have been able to do that um, in this day and age. Like I can never. I think we were talking about this before. Like I can't imagine my kids doing the things that I did when I was a kid.
So it's amazing what kids will share with friends on their school district issued iPads. Uh, I am not privy to that information, but like we tell kids that like this iPad is basically on loan for you, and the district can see everything you do. And I don't think they know. Some kids don't even know what that means. It's like they just, uh, it is a lot easier to. It's like we can find out what kids are talking about on their devices, for better or for worse.
Yep, we've had to do a little bit of that on our sorry, on our kids' iPads. Um, Brooklyn in particular, that was something that we were going through a little bit ago. Dang it, because their device is connected one way, iPad to phone, and they're only allowed to bring their phone to school, and so iPad stays at home, and every now and then it gets checked. We found out she had a secret Discord account. That was a big red flag for us. So we had to lock her out for a little bit.
Mm.
So that was unfortunate, but it was something that we've been working on.
Dom, is that a caricature of you behind you?
Not of me. No, it's my father-in-law, Amy's dad.
So
I'm in
I
his
knew
office right now.
I
Hey
knew that
guys,
you were at your father-in-law's.
I gotta jump off.
Oh, I didn't even realize we were over time.
Yeah, I gotta get going here.
See ya.
All right, sounds
Good to see you guys. Ryan, welcome back.
Thanks, man. See you soon.
Have a great Friday.
Yes, Elena, you can ask a question.
Get Lana's question. But now in my mind, I feel as if your father-in-law looks exactly like you.
We do have some similarities.
The beard, the
We
glasses.
do. I'm trying to think if there's another like. Trying to think if there's like a real. I'll text you a real picture of him, but
Okay.
yeah, we do have some similarities. I thought that was funny, and um, one of those things where you get into a relationship, or you hear those things like, kids gravitate towards people who are like their parents, like women tend to like look for husbands or romantic partners that are like their father if they have a good relationship with their father, or if their father is a good person. So I do take that as a compliment, because my wife's dad is a really good person, and I'm trying to my best to be a really good person. Oh, maybe David asked this question. Oh, Yeah, I was messing around in the background of like I was trying to like get on Twitch and get myself into moderator side of Twitch because the last couple of times we've had these shows, I've been getting those like little spam messages and I can't mod them out from my phone. So like I have my laptop right here. And so I was playing around in mod shield mode and I guess I clicked something weird and maybe that's what's booted Elena up or something. I don't know. I'm still here. Oh well, David, you can't read Elena's because she's over on X. So that's not because of mod mode. She's over on X. I don't think she's on Twitch yet. I don't think she's downloaded that new app and started that journey of hers yet with the V friends. So that's why I'm trying my best to share the conversation. But yeah, Elena's on Twitch, or Elena's on X, David's on Twitch, and Ryan and I are trying our hardest to connect the two of you.
There's no issue. You guys can be anywhere. It's not a problem, Elena.
Yeah,
So you can definitely
no.
stay on X. You don't have to be over here. We're just in some software right now that pulls them all together so that we can stream it to
So
all these other
daughters
spots.
having crushes, how do you handle that? Crushes are fun. I mean, it just is what it is, right? Like girls are gonna crush, guys are gonna crush. They don't often like sync up, you know, like I remember that as a kid, like I would have crushes on the girls that would not have a crush on me, and the girls who had a crush on me, like it wouldn't be like reciprocated. So, you know, just for like for lack of better like knowledge, because I'm still learning through all this stuff too, is like as long as you have that close relationship that we've been talking about this whole time, and you know you've established a relationship of parent but friend, you know, trust, all those things, you know, they'll just tell you and you get to listen and you can offer advice, you know, what I've found to be the best thing lately, and I need to double down on it because it's something that I don't always do but I want to do, is um telling them more about my life, like my life as a kid, like going back to, you know, like kind of like what I just said, like I had crushes on girls, but they never reciprocated. And then there were girls that I remember that had a crush on me, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. So it's just something you have to deal with as a kid. And I think using your own experience and shedding a little light on the fact that like, yeah, you're a parent, but you used to be a kid or you used to be a teenager and you used to go through all that same stuff that they went. Like it's a slightly different world because there's Instagram and Snapchat and all that stuff. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
I think it's a great comment. I would have more questions for Elena. I'm gonna have to go to, but Elena, a question to you, which I'm not gonna have time to see an answer from you right now, is with you saying that the crush has just started, and you told that your daughter that it's a normal thing, and you now think, or you're accepting that you can't be upset over. My question would be, what are you upset about? And I'm assuming that there's a little bit of a, just projecting on it, a little bit of a loss of control, a little bit of a worry of, broken feelings, obviously, a little bit of a change in, who your kid is. So I'd be so curious. That could be a really fun conversation about what, and then I'd love to hear from David, from Dom. I love that Dom's first answer was like, that's fun. It's like, oh yeah, okay, got it. Teach me how fun it can be. So
I mean, everything is fun, especially if your kids are talking to you. I think there's plenty of people that have gone through life, like me being one of them, that like didn't always open up to their parents. So if you're a parent now and your kids are opening up to you, no matter what it's about, like that's fun, right? Like it's better than them not talking to you. It's better than you finding out, like what Jason said, and being surprised, like in the movies.
yeah,
Yeah, this is where I was going with Elena. Is I think it's more of like age. I think she said her oldest is 10, and I remember that too. Like, but at that age, it's so much more innocent, and it's so much more like they're just finding out, like that they kind of have crushes. Like it's like they're exploring that because maybe other kids or older kids that they hang out with, you know, it's not to the scale of like, you know, dating or kissing or any of that stuff like that
Hmm.
parents would mostly be worried about. It's more of just like saying that they have a crush. And they, most of the time they don't even know why. It's like, oh, because he's nice, or oh, because he's the cool kid, or oh, because I really liked his shoes that day. Like he always wears Jordans,
Oh,
and they're,
great
you
point,
know,
man. I was trying to think. I think that a lot of my thinking has questioned this idea of like, well, if a kid likes another kid or like a younger kid likes another kid, I think that adults can definitely start to sexualize that first, right? Well, they like them because of, you know, and then I think your mind can go in that direction. But when I put myself back in my shoes, when I remember when I was having these, like what David says, like, you know, the puppy love kind of stages and even the crushes that weren't reciprocated, I think about what I liked about the girl. It wasn't even sexual. If I can think back to, like, I don't remember ever being like foaming at the mouth because like it's anything in that direction. It was just this like natural gravitation that I wanted
yeah,
to get close with someone of like the opposite sex, if that was the case. Like you thought someone was pretty, you thought someone was cute, whatever was really going on. But it's interesting to kind of think back. I kind of wish I could transport myself back and kind of get those thoughts in there. I was curious if Elena was mentioning this and maybe my mind went somewhere when Elena said that you thought your daughter was worried, that she thought you'd be upset that she liked boys. My first thought was like, oh, interesting. Was she worried that it was that that she liked boys? Was it a, you know, more of like she thought she could only like girls? I thought that was a moment, but I think what we're saying is that she thought she was too young to like boys, and then tell you that's kind of where we're going with that.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
That's
Cool.
what that's originally what I thought when she brought the subject up, because
Okay,
I'd remember that she had a 10-year-old. I was like, yeah, that's, but I also remember like
good.
my kids doing that too when they were that age. It's like when
Hmm.
it started, you know, 9, 10, 11, and then it gets into like, yeah, it's pretty normal, but like it really just like stops there at saying like, well, it did for my kids. Like they like this person, they like that person, and you know, it's not until high school that it really takes on to, in my experience,
Hmm.
the role of actual like dating or texting more often, or you know, whatever.
100%.
Seems very innocent in the younger schools.
Great topic.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks Ryan for coming and hanging out, and David and Elena, thanks for talking with us cross platform, giving us something to do. It was a good time. The minutes really flew by there.
It did. This is it. I love these. I love these topics. I mean, I know in my mind, I was thinking, how do you take these topics and really bring them into another area? Maybe this is it. Maybe you don't need more time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing an extended session every now and then. You guys know that it's only 6 a.m. for here for me. So if I'm in this place or in my office, I got all the time in the world. It's just when you see me in my garage, then usually there's a little kid about to knock through the door, and I got to get in there and get to that parent life.
I hear you. All right, man. I'm gonna head off.
Yeah,
Love you.
you have a
Talk
great day,
soon.
buddy.
Okay. Bye.
It's good seeing you again. Love you.
See ya. Bye. Love you.